Hello everybody and welcome back live here to Silverstone for the second qualifying session of your afternoon in the closing races of the GP Anniversary Championship. My name's Liam Jenkins and I'll be calling all of the action for you as it unfolds on the circuit. And what a prospect we've got as well. A lot of big drivers, a packed field here for the A race in the 900 to 1100 Skillquant. And we've got 14 competitors, sorry, 14 drivers for the final race of the season. Now, what a great turnout, a great car, and a great circuit as well. So we'll wait for the first few qualifying times to come in. But as of right now, here's a few names to keep an eye on. Clark 10, definitely always a dark horse. We've got Wacky Pie, who's been a multiple race winner this season, the GP Anniversary Championship. Very confident with this car, as we say, we spoke to him earlier on. We know he's pacey, we know he's consistent. Can he do it on the biggest stage of them all, and maybe even clinch a championship? There's only one way to find out, as he's making his way towards the end of his opening lap now, but the first man to set a time will actually not be Wacky Pie. I believe it could very well be Supercar 1. As the drivers just make their way now through the final couple of corners to wait for the time to come flooding in thick and fast as the first official flying lap's gone to the boot. So it's 10 at the new driver that sets the first time with a 1:56.0. That gets beaten by Supercar 1. And I will try to keep you updated on times, but they're flooding in so quickly I think I would sound like Eminem if I were to try and read this off the list as they come through. So it's currently King Dio that's pole. That just changes again. There's a reason why I'm waiting, you see. So Clark 10, King Dio, Rob Nitro, Dimitri, Kobayashi, Supercar and Wacky Pie are your top 7 at the moment. Bear in mind we've still got a couple more drivers to set time. Sky Pilot being one of them, Andy Bob another, Reno a third one to set a time still. So, and we mentioned earlier that Clark 10 would be quick. He immediately shoots to the top of the timesheets with a 1:53.805. That's a 1:53.8 for Clark 10. So the 1973 Lotus 72 machine looking very capable under the hands of Clark 10. Now, oh, 10 at's gone off there. Now that is coming out of Woodcote, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's just before the national pit straight. He's had a bit of a moment, so hopefully he can recover okay. Shouldn't dampen his quality too much. He's got plenty of time to recover from that and set himself a decent lap time. But let's just wait and see how it all unfolds. We've got still Clark 10, the fastest man at the moment. Watch out for Wacky Pie. He'll be definitely looking to improve. He will not want to stay where he is at all. That is not where he wanted his set or envisioned this session to end up. But then again, just remember that it's only half the work is qualifying. The real job does start to come in during the race. You can't win a race during qualifying. You can't win it in the opening laps. You win it by being consistent, and that is where Wacky Pie comes into his own. But a bit of pace doesn't help. Let's see what he can do over the start-finish line again. And he stays 9th, so still no improvement. Very intriguing. He's only 1.8 seconds away now as King Dio ramps up the pace there. That's not even a 1, is it? Sorry, I beg your pardon. He's trying to wait for the time to readjust again and make sure he doesn't get outraced there by Clark 10. He goes over the line, he doesn't. So it's a 1:53 for King Dio. Clark 10 second, Rob Nitro just 600th of a second away there in P3 at the moment. There's 3 minutes 35 seconds left in the session, which means the drivers should be on maybe 1 or 2 more laps depending on where they are in the circuit at the moment. And don't forget some big news regarding future championships coming up a bit later tonight as well. August will be the month of Simraceway, and you'll definitely want to be involved, especially if you're fancy yourself as a bit of a GT fan or a bit of a World Touring Car fan. We'll leave the rest up to your imagination, but 3 minutes 18 to go, a 1:53.5 for King Dio, 3/10 clear almost of Clark 10. Rob Nitro still 3rd, Dimitri 4th, Ramo is in P5. Still no major appearance from Wacky Pie yet. You've got to start wondering about that man's pace. Is this going to be the big race he's hyped it up to be, or will there need to be a lot of work left before we see him on the top step of that podium? All will reveal itself in time, of course. But 2 minutes to go, and it's still looking like a very close session in the midfield from a 1:54.2, which is Dimitri's time, to a 1:55.2 and 6, which is Kobayashi. Seems pretty close, but the whole field only separated by about 4 seconds. And that's quite a lot, well, not a lot actually, I should say, considering that Karen Quick is a couple seconds off his own away. Without Karen Quick's time, it's about 2.5 seconds separating the entire 13 cars. Very close between everyone who's racing here today.
You went off track. The lap won't count.
Just watching Supercar 1 now make his way through. And Supercar 1, better known as Pedro Ramos, our regular cameraman. He's been doing a lot of work recently. We've now got the delightful Carlos back in the box to bring us some exquisite camera views again. So a massive thank you to Carlos for helping out today as Supercar brings his way down the national pit straight from 6th on the grid at the moment. flings his way through turn number 1. Let's just not forget there's still maybe a little hidden surprise here. Wacky Pie up to 7. It's all about King Dio still out at the moment. Clark 10 in the pits. Now that is intriguing. Obviously doesn't have enough time to set another lap. So second is the highest it will be, and even that's not secure because third and fourth of Dimitri and Rob Nitro are only collectively under 100th of a second away. They are not that far adrift at all. So Rob Nitro getting a bit of a cheeky draft there actually from one of the cars in front. Now that's Master Rocco, as far as I can make out. Through Stowe Corner they go. And I wonder if this is going to impact his time or maybe provide the cheeky boost he needs. Master Rocco gets out of the way though, so that advantage is gone. But this is still going to be a fiery lap from Rob Nitro, I can assure you now. Bit of a wobble of oversteer, shouldn't really be too much of a sideways drift, but that was Rob over the line. Is it quicker? No, it is! And it's still not enough. 200th of a second away, and that is the end of his session. That's the end of most people's sessions. The checkered flag is out. King Dio is going to be your pole sitter after a remarkable increase there. 2 seconds away. Clark and Rob in the pits. Dimitri 4th. Supercar 5th. Andy Bob 6th. Reno 7th. Wacky Pie still going at the moment in 8th. Sky Pilot 9th. Kobayashi pitting from 10th. 11th is Tenat. 12th place is Master Rocco. 13th WTTM1. 14th KM Quick. And that rounds out your field for today's qualifying session. We'll be right back with you to call the entire race live here from Silverstone. So here we are then, back at Silverstone, and for a lot of these drivers, it doesn't get bigger than this. Supercar 1 said he's shaking and stressed before the race. A capacity grid, 5 red lights, and 12 laps at the Silverstone circuit about to get underway. And no, it's not. We've got a yellow flag out, so we'll be right back with the race very, very shortly. Hopefully the technical difficulties do get fixed shortly. So we're back here live at Silverstone. A bit of a delayed restart, but we've got all 14 drivers back with us. Some more nervous than others. Some can be the biggest race of their career. Let's find out how they fare down into that first corner. Big start there from Supercar 1 in the midfield. As Clark 10 tries to defend off Dio on the inside line to take the lead in the race, and they're side by side. Dio gets forced out wide, but he will be on the inside as they go into the loop for the first time. Everyone through that very tight apex for the first time unscathed. So Abbey Corner providing no casualties as they enter Village through Farm. And it's looking very neat and tidy. Very impressed actually with the consistency and the conservative driving in the field, and a big moment there for King Dio. And he swerves back onto the racetrack in second, third now, fourth. Kobayashi can punish him there for P5. In fact, he does so. So Kobayashi back through just about, swerves into Reino. Oh, and a chain reaction almost provided the first casualty of the day. Luckily though, all drivers remain unscathed. We've still got another 11.5 laps of racing, and the drivers getting very feisty already. They're feeling the pressure, they know what's at stake. Final round of the championship, and with only 3 of them counting, it means that you do get a drop round. For some of these drivers, they've already had one too many bad races than they'd like to have had, and they need a solid result here for their points total come the end of the day. So through Maggots and Beckett's go the midfield, and you can just see how everything's lining up at the moment as Supercar 1 holds on against King Dio in P4, who of course was the pole sitter earlier on. It'll be intriguing to see if his earlier one-lap pace will be reflected during this event. Into Vale Corner, no chance there. Supercar 1 up to third. So the already nervous Pedro Ramos is going to be quaking in his boots right now as they go in towards that chicane. And look how close Dio is to making a move. And Supercar 1, if he'd have defended any harder, the two may as well have started a relationship. The two were that close together. And I think it may have played into Reino's hands more than anyone. The man in P5 isn't that far adrift actually. First lap out of the way then, so first and pre-race nerves shouldn't be leaving the drivers. It should just be pure adrenaline now for setting in. As Dio tries round the outside of Village, and that was never really on the cards, was it? Although this might be on the inside. Pushing Supercar 1 has to sweep it right around the outside and try and get a drive going down the Wellington straight. Will he be able to do it? Oh, he's trying, and the two go force each other off the circuit, each way and every way. So a lot of dust coming up from that corner, and King Dio miraculously makes that move stick unscathed. So some very ballsy driving there from King Dio, looking very, very aggressive in this early stage. So the battle for third well and truly underway. You've got the battle there, that third, fourth, fifth and sixth, and then seventh for pretty much the rest of the field also remain dueling away with each other. And wide again goes King Dio, and I think Supercar went as well. Reino may just punish him for that one, but he can't quite get it done through Maggots and Beckett's. It'd be silly to try one through there, so he's done himself a favour if anything. A bit further back though, he's got to keep an eye as well, because almost 3 abreast there were Master Rocco, Andy, Bob and Dimitri. Now that battle is over P9, so you need eyes at every corner to keep an eye on what's going on here at Silverstone today. Absolutely fantastic racing in the first couple of laps. And Rob Nitro really taking the fight now to your race leader Clark 10 as they come round to start their third lap very shortly. Will be able to sneak underneath, or no? Don't think he's going to be able to, is he? Not quite. Over the line, a 155.2 for Rob and a 156.3 there for Clark 10. So a big difference. Rob Nitro obviously faster. A 154 for King Dio, so the pole sitter looking to reclaim his crown. And Supercar struggles to hold on to fourth from Reino and Kobayashi. Just in the distance there in 7th place is Wacky Pie. And Kobayashi spins Reino, and I'm not sure if that's going to go down as an intended incident or no, if there will be a penalty. But Reino will definitely have some words to say about that one post-race. On board with WTTN again as he tries to attack Dimitri, so battles raging all the way through the field. This one starting at 11th position. This is where WTTN's trying to overtake. Dimitri goes a bit too deep into Lovefields, and that almost cost him very, very dearly. But the 4 cars remain line of stern down the old National Pit Straight, and you take a look forward, and the field's still very close together indeed, all separated now into their own mini walls. King Dio rapidly has caught Clark 10 and Rob Nitro, that's for sure. Let's see if he can make a move, or perhaps not. Almost, but he's just a bit too far away, isn't he, as Clark struggles to fend off the onslaught. Another lap in the books. Oh, and King Dio spins, he hits the wall, and all that progress has just come crashing down like a tidal wave. 10 out goes through, he's down to 7th, I'm just going to say 8th anyway. Yeah, Reno goes through, and King Dio, after giving absolutely everything, setting the fastest lap last time around, right on the final corner, just gets a bit too much oversteer, pushed a bit too much, and the rest unfortunately ended up with Dio in 7th position, maybe 8th, as Reno tries to take one from him, but a bit further down, we've got Master Rocco leaving the pits, KM Quick in 12th, WTTN 11th, 10th for Dimitri, 9th Andy Bob, 8th and 7th we've discussed, 10 out now up to 6th place, Occupy 5th, Kobayashi 4th, Supercar 3rd, Clark in 2nd, and still Rob Nitro that leads, so keep an eye on that midfield battle that's going to be erupting all the way through this race, with many different contenders looking for it as well. The drivers and the talent scale that we've got here today is simply phenomenal. Just about a quarter of the way through the event then. And Wacky Pie sits safely inside the top 5 at the moment, as we say. He's hoping to get a big result. 6th and 7th there are Dio, and 10 out now Dio looking around the outside of Maggots and Beckett, so he'll be extremely brave. We'll try anything too courageous through there. But down the hanger straight they come once again. Just behind Renault and Co, we've got WTTN and Dimitri, who could well be slipstreaming each other very soon. But Kobayashi and Wacky Pie getting very close. And Wacky Pie's got a great run now going in towards Club Corner. He should be able to park one up the inside. Positions the car perfectly well, doesn't outbrake himself, leaves room. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you execute an overtaking manoeuvre around Silverstone. Beautifully done. Wacky Pie into 4th. Let's see if he can defend it. Behind as well, you've got Tanat and King Dio, then Reno, Andy Bob, WTTN and Dimitri. All the way down in 11th position. So still, after all of that intriguing racing, still got 13 runners left, not a single retirement yet. After all of that action, we saw all of the nail-biting moments, the very tense racing. There's still been not a single dropout just yet, which is a very, very encouraging sign for this championship. Especially in the final round as well. I think everyone's just calmed down. They all want a big result. They want to add to their growing or perhaps shrinking points total. It's down the National Pit Straight goes Rob Nitro, 4.6 seconds clear of anyone else at the moment. We've been racing for 8 minutes here on his 5th lap, so you're looking at about a 20-minute race, or just over, probably about 22, 23 minutes. And Rob, though, looking to maybe break a record or two here today with his pace. Now 3 seconds clear in front of the Supercar, who's already made some significant progress into his own race. We've discussed that earlier on, about how this was always going to be a tricky race. Final race of the season, everybody knows what's at stake. They push that a little bit harder. They want those extra few tenths a second every lap, but sometimes it's just a little easier said than done. It's all going to come down to just how much these drivers want it and how consistent they're willing to get. Clark 10 a bit wide there going out of the final corner. Supercar holding his own though in third with Wacky Pie fourth. Side by side there, Reno on the inside of 10A. 10A tries to sneak underneath, but they collide again. Now, was that just deserved for earlier, I wonder? Of course, these two involved in the lap 1 scrap up at the village corner. Now Reno spun out and down to P11, and you've got to feel like that was sort of brewing a little, or it may have been a long time coming, that the two drivers were eventually going to collide again. Bad blood lies in the mouth of those two, that's for sure. But everything's sort of calming down a bit further up the field. Towards the rear end of it, though, it's a completely different story. As there goes WTTN, trying to get alongside Andy Bob, but putting a wheel on the grass is not going to do you any good through there. He's going to rethink his strategy because he almost hit the rear end, and now Dimitri almost sneaking around the outside. Indeed he does, as WTTN goes wide, and that has unfortunately dropped him down to 10th position. So over the line, still together as they go through the national pit straight a bit further up the field. King Dio trying to turn his race around. He's got a lot of work to do because down to 6th after the spin is not where he wanted to be. So we'll keep an eye on that one, and also that battle we were talking about a moment ago with WTTNN and all of the drivers involved in that one, because that is getting extremely feisty and extremely quickly. Also another battle starting to form will be Kobe, or we say Kobe, I mean Kobayashi and King Dio. Now that's over 5th and 6th at the moment. King Dio, as we say, trying to turn his race back around after a spin at the final corner last time by. He's just not quite close enough yet, is he? Almost edging his way through there. Can he go to the inside? Yes, he can. The inside of Abbey Corner is not a favoured overtaking spot. He goes anyway, a late lunge. Trying to intimidate maybe Kobayashi there, force him wide. Now gets a great solid run going up in towards the loop. And Kobayashi left utterly defenceless there after that. Encouraging endeavour there by King Dio, shows he's not out of this just yet. He wants a win, he can still get one. Now breaks himself into the top 5. Next on his list will be Wacky Pie. Already won 2 races this season as Wacky Pie. He would love to add another one. Currently P4 though, a bit of work for him to accomplish. But I wouldn't put it past him, not with a race of this intensity. And when the drivers are this shuffled up as well, the excitement levels are this high, the tension levels perhaps even higher, you just never know what's going to go down here at Silverstone. But one thing that we do know is that King Dio is definitely on a charge, and he will be catching Wacky Pie sooner than many of us might think. And look at the race leader now as well, Rob Nitro. He's trying to work out, he's about 10 seconds clear already there from Clark 10. Then Supercar, then Wacky Pie, and then Dio. So, incredibly enough, Rob Nitro, after being under pressure a lot earlier on, has simply just taken a swing, not even bothered to look back. So lap number 8 starts, and Rob Nitro a 1:54.1. Clark 10 is a 1:54.8, so still a bit to be worked on there. The battle behind the Supercar and Wacky Pie could also be developing soon. Wacky Pie 1:55 flat and a 1:55.5 for the man in front of him, Supercar. So Wacky Pie faster, could arguably down to the slipstream, could also down be to just driver ability and sheer pace. Only one way to find out, I know, so watch these two battle and progress in the final quarter of this race. And just trying to keep a brief eye on what is developing in the Wacky Pie battle, because right behind him, now we knew Wacky Pie was gaining, but King Dio has closed up incredibly quickly. I've just been riding on board with him, and it's almost like he's in a completely different machine. It's like he's catching Wacky Pie, and Wacky Pie is driving a Mini Cooper. It is absolutely astounding. And that is the last thing that these two drivers need, is a very charging, very passionate King Dio to come and spoil their fun, because lap 8 out of 12, 5 laps left on the clock, and King Dio is reeling them in like a fisherman. Let's see if he can leave with a big catch though. Down the hanger straight they go. Wacky Pie's got to start watching his mirrors. He got very close there. Supercar also going a bit wide, wasn't he? And now down the main straight, bit of a bump and grind over the curve there for Wacky Pie. And I think King Dio almost had a mirror incident of what he had a few laps ago. And now look how close they are there. A Supercar tries to hold on, not one but two cars now. Wacky Pie trying to get up the inside. He wants a car between himself and King Dio. And the two are running away from a T-Rex swarm, because Dio is all over them, just watching them, battling, scrapping away. And to the outside goes Wacky Pie. Can't leave a hole that big without expecting King Dio to pounce. Supercar goes wide. Can Wacky Pie go through? Even if he can't, Dio's there, so Wacky Pie goes through. Dio loses it, and he should have had the move signed up there. But Wacky Pie goes up to third, and now Supercar is vulnerable prey even, I should say, for King Dio. Lap 9 of 12, and Supercar's got to get back by quickly in this breathtaking battle. Up towards the complex they go. Out the inside, almost goes Dio. I took my eyes off it for 1 second, looking at what Dimitri was doing in 7th, and if he was gaining on Kobayashi, and you play back forward, he's done it again, almost same corner. The same corner comes back to haunt him, and this could be Supercar's saving grace. Rob Nitro still leads, lap 10 of 12. Dio has got a lot of work to do, but he keeps making a mistake at the same corner again and again. And again, he's got to stop doing it if he wants to get himself as high up the order as he can. Well, no, he's got a great run there, hasn't he? He is side by side and he's through. Supercar 1 is left defenceless, having to sweep around the outside. And he just can't get it back through Luffield, so Dio is up to 4th, and Supercar's going to be hoping that there will be some sort of redemption, or that he'll go wide again in that final corner, because otherwise that could be goodbye 4th place, because that man is ridiculously hard to catch. And you'll see that now. He's already pulled away about 2 seconds and sets his sights on Wacky Pie in 3rd, so Wacky Pie should be going for his first A-Race podium in quite a while. He's already taken victories here, as we've said, and now could be on the podium if he can just keep Dio at bay. He goes very wide through Maggots and Beckett. So then we've just got over a lap and a half to go. It's Rob Nitro that leads from Clark 10, now 18 seconds adrift. Wacky Pie third, fourth Supercar, fifth Kobayashi, 10th Dimitri. Oh, not 10th, sorry, I was getting confused. It's Kobayashi's 10 in his name. Now King Dio's out. King Dio is out of the race. Was that an incident or scrolling through the order? Was there contact? Was that another spin at the final corner? All remains to be seen, but King Dio on the penultimate lap will be absolutely devastated. Nothing has gone right for him today. After all of that hard work in qualifying, a spin early on, and now a retirement at the very last moment in the race. You couldn't ask for a more disappointing weekend than that. Kobayashi 5th, Dimitri 6th, Andy 7th, Reino 8th, WTTN 9th, King Dio 10th. And that is your order as they go in towards the final lap of the race. Rob Nitro just rounding out the final corner now through Club. He's coming to come. And the 12th lap is underway here at Silverstone. Rob Nitro looking to take a victory in the 4th round of the GP Anniversary Championship. So Clarkston is still second, Wacky Pie still third, and I guess now for Wacky Pie, he can wipe a massive amount of sweat from his forehead. Because now the nearest car to him is 2.5 seconds away. It doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, it's a lot more comforting than a 0.3 second away pole sitter charging, trying to feist a move down your inside. There's still a bit of racing left as well in that midfield, especially in about 7th and 8th. Andy, Bob and Reino could still be an encounter to keep an eye on, but for the most part now, drivers just settling down. They've had a very long afternoon so far, almost half an hour's worth of racing. And it's going to be Rob Nitro that is going to sail to victory, and a very elusive victory it will be as well. 23 seconds away from Clark 10, Wacky Pie a further 20 back. Supercar is overall 45 seconds away. Rob Nitro has worked for this victory. It was not handed to him on a plate. He took the most of every opportunity given to him, and in return, it's earned him the top step on the Simraceway podium for the final round of your GP Anniversary Championship. Just a few more turns left to go. Kobayashi, I should say, has been caught by Dimitri as well. We'll keep an eye on that. They're going down the hangar straight, so by the time we rejoin them, they should be battling theoretically. So Rob Nitro comes out of the final corner. One more turn left to go, swings the Lotus 72 in, and another race, and another win for Rob Nitro. A beautiful drive sees him climb to the top step of the podium in fantastic fashion. Second is Clark 10, third is Wacky Pie. A great third place that is, and look at Dimitri and Kobayashi. I don't think he's close enough there. No, he's not. So third is Wacky Pie, fourth Supercar, fifth Kobayashi, sixth Dimitri, 7th Andy Bob, 8th Reino, 9th WTTN, 10th Master Rocco, 11th KM Quick, 12th Tenat, and our only retirement for the day, King Dio. And what a disappointment that was, and how different this race could have been. But Rob Nitro is the winner of your final round of the championship. A massive congratulations to all of our podium sitters. We'll be right back with you for the 900 to 1000 Skillquant coming to you very, very shortly.